Right, hi everyone, Kevin here from the Zenler team and welcome to this week's Office Hours Live. And today I'm really pleased that we've got both David and Rakesh with me today. So hi guys.
Hiya.
Hello
So
guys, how's
it's
everyone?
we're great. Um, the format for the show this evening, if you've not been on before, because it's still quite new, is we're going to answer some of your questions that you've had come in and sent to us over the last week or so. We're actually adding a new segment, so we're going to go through the changelog. I'm going to ask Rakesh to go through that in a minute, which is going to tell you about some of the updates that have been happening over the last 7 or 14 days, so you know what the tech geniuses of New Zenler have been up to for you on your behalf to get New Zenler even better and working more stable. And throughout, of course, always come in, say hello, let us know where you're watching from. If you're on the replay, hashtag replay, as you've all been doing fantastically from the last one. I'm still getting comments and it's absolutely brilliant. And of course, at the end of it, we'll wrap up and we'll continue with what we're doing in our courses over the course of the week. So to kickstart, while everyone's starting to settle in, Rakesh, I'm going to hand over to you, please, to go through the
Cool,
changelog for the last week or so.
cool. So guys, yeah, we do releases all the time. We do almost like daily releases. Trying to hold back on daily releases so that we can schedule like weekly 1 or 2 days for the releases. So I'm just going to quickly go through the change log. Some of the changes may not make any sense to you, and I'm not going to cover all of them, but I'm just going to cover the important bits. So let's just quickly go through it while we settle into the session. I'm just going to share my screen. Let me know if you can see the screen. 1 second. Do you see my screen, guys?
Yeah,
Yep.
that's it.
Cool. Let me just see. Okay, change log files. So all the changes that we have that we do weekly go on to the file called NZ release notes. That is you can access it by going to files and then clicking on the change log for the NZ release notes. So yeah, so let's just quickly go through them. So yeah, I think this morning we had a release for font family issues. Again, may not be relevant for everyone. I'm not going to cover all of them, and whole lot of fixes that was done a couple of days ago. The contact form, affiliates, sales coupon, and some changes for capture. Some of the issues for capture, and this is for community where there were lots of follows and unfollows in community. There were some issues and stuff like that. And yeah, course player video continue to play on the next session, next lesson before the click and so on. And again, we now I think probably some of you may not have noticed it. We now have an account wide setting called in integration, so you can edit and add your email and from name so for your account. So you can change it. Earlier it was not possible to change your email address, the default email address that you can. And lots of changes around community loading. Some users had issues with community loading. uh, that was fixed, and quite a lot of big changes last week. I think David did the video on that. Option for selecting font pad. I think quite a lot of users they love it. So now you can select from a list of, I think, hundreds and hundreds of Google fonts. You can select the font pairs and you can apply. We have even got editor preferences. You can, by default, when you apply a block, it can derive your branding. You can apply branding on a particular block, font family and font weight. All of this is explained in the tutorials that David has done, and you can find that in the on the group or on the tutorials. Are they on the tutorials already, David? These ones,
No,
announcements?
no, then they're not on the course that I'm creating. I
Okay,
don't think we've uploaded them to YouTube, but I
okay,
need to do
fine.
that. So I need to do a
Okay,
new features post
cool.
on YouTube today.
Yeah, so I think if you for now, if you go to announcements, you can see all of that changes in there, and some changes around tags and some changes around webinars, And then again, earlier you were not able to see the coupon description in the coupon listing. Now you can see that as well. Audio files, some users were not able to play the audio files on some devices, some screen resolutions, and that's fixed. Um, I think this is the one earlier one. Community, for the community, when you had third party, when you had when you had some Chrome extensions and some settings, like that could block, like some cookie settings that were blocking the community from loading. That is fixed. Again, it's not affecting all users, some users. And we also added a discussion tab in people and profile. So you can add and remove users from lesson discussions and so on. And also for now, from the media library, you can now download videos with the highest resolution. Earlier, I think it was defaulting to 720p. Now you can get the maximum, like highest resolution possible. I think whole lot of other changes and some more captcha changes and so on. I think that should be it for now. I'm not going to go through the entire stack. So
No, that's really useful because having looked at the community over the last week or so, the capture stuff has been a problem for some users. And I didn't know this existed a couple of weeks ago, this changelog. So I think it's really good to highlight actually the new Zenler team do respond to what's going on. They might not always come on and shout about what they're doing, but there's real stuff going on where an issue comes up and they're dealing with it quite quickly where possible. So that's really good to see. And the community stuff I know has been the third party cookie thing is just a nightmare at times.
yes.
So it's really good to see that that's been dealt with.
Yeah,
Rakesh,
and again, so some of the issues does not happen for everyone. So we kind of, it takes for some time for the support to understand and get to the bottom of these issues.
Yeah. And the thing is, and this is something that I'll put to the community, is with support, if it isn't obvious, the way that it works is they have to try and recreate the problem to understand how to fix it. And
Exactly.
sometimes in using their system, it isn't the same as using your system.
Yeah.
So it doesn't always quite connect properly. So it takes a little bit more delving into. So if you're not getting an immediate response from support, just be patient because they're trying to replicate that problem to solve it.
That doesn't mean they're ignoring you, but it just takes some time to find all the permutation combinations of different systems and operating systems and so on.
For sure.
Yeah, also it's important to, if you can, to supply a video, because if they can see you actually doing it and recreate that, and they can see that problem happening, then they can obviously analyze what's going on and get to that problem solving much quicker as well.
Very true.
Rakesh, can you stop sharing your screen, please?
Yeah, I'll do that. Oh, yes.
So what we'll do is I'm going to monitor the chat. So if you've got questions while we've got Rakesh and David here, myself, then please do put them in the chat. We've already had some submitted. So I'm going to go through those first because people have took the time to fill the form out and ask. So I'll put this out. So the first one that we had come in is 2 questions and it's come from Leslie Lawrence. So hi, Leslie, thanks for your question. So 2 questions in the corporate training space. So the first one is, can I assign a second facilitator or admin to a specific course, or would they have access to all courses? So that's the first question.
Mm-hmm.
The second question, as the company would be paying to enroll their employees, I assume I would manually add each student. Do they get a username and password to access? So does someone want to jump in with the answer on that?
Cool. Yeah, I mean, instructor, you can add any number of instructors on to a particular course. Yeah, so you just if you go to people and instructor, you can add an instructor and then you can assign the instructor onto a particular course.
Okay. So if the company is paying one fee and they want to put, for example, 50 employees in, which is what I think this question is, they can do that. What's the process behind doing that?
Yeah, I think a lot of people do that. I think so. This is I think what they're trying to do is like sell a bulk license, license in bulk. So if you are selling it to a big organization, they want like 1,000 licenses. So what you could do is like you can create a course for the bulk purchase, and then once the purchase happens, you can create like a X number coupon that has a redemption limit as as much as the number of seats that they want, and they can use that many times to enroll into the course.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. With the coupons, you can set that. You can set an X amount of coupons, and that could be supplied, and then the company can actually pay that in one lot, and they can give those coupons to whoever they want to. They can all enroll, so they're getting their own email, username, and a password anyway, and they're creating it themselves and using that coupon to go in. So that would be the best way to do it, I think, definitely.
I suppose the other way of doing it, if the company is enrolling employees, so therefore they own the email accounts as the company, you could import them on CSV files and import them directly that way if they've got a list of the emails and the names.
Exactly.
That would be quite a quick way of doing that as well. So the user hasn't actually got to go in and do it themselves. The company can do it for them.
Yes, yeah. I think it's a bit of pain if the user is going to do it. If it's organization, it's probably easier for them, as Kevin said, to bulk import into people into the course.
Yeah. The only thing I'd say as a caution there from a GDPR point of view is only if the company owns the email addresses and the accounts. If they're using other email accounts or personal ones, they can't do that. So that's quite an important factor to remember.
You need to have the consent to import the data into the platform.
Correct. Okay. Right. So I think that answers that quite nicely. So the next one, which is a common question that comes up, is from Ryan Rigterink. Hope I've said that correctly, Ryan. So thank you for your question. How to set up a custom domain using Hostgator?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, yeah, I think David probably knows that better, I think.
Well, I don't know. I'm used to using lots of different hosting companies. I don't use Hostgator, but in all cases, there is a way to put all of the details that you need to do your domain changeover. So they'll have a cPanel, you can change it, or they'll have a support email that you can actually go to and say, look, this is what I need it changed to, so I really need it redirected to, and then they'll just go ahead and do it. So that goes with any of the hosting companies. They'll always be able to change the DNS records and stuff. So it's just a matter of just getting that information. Zenler supplies that inside the platform, so you just need to get it across to them, and they can take care of it for you.
Yeah, and there are a couple of tutorials on doing the cPanel part of this, and I remember going through it myself. And although some of the minute detail might be different in each system, the basis of it is pretty much the same. And then once you've done it, you just hit that Tell Zenler button, and it goes off, and then they sort it out for you. So I believe
will be part of the course that I'm doing as well. I'm covering the whole thing. I'm actually building a site, an actual site that's going to be a working site. So that's going to be used, and I'm going to be using that and connecting it all up and doing memberships, doing all these things. There's tons of things going on, but it's on a real world live site. It's not just the test training site; it's a proper site.
Yeah.
Cool. Okay, so look out for that.
Yeah, I think one thing we are trying to do is, like, currently when you set up a custom domain, it has to go to support, and it takes around 24 hours to 48 hours for them to set it up on the back end. Now we are trying to automate it. So that's another work that is in progress. So with one click, when you add a custom domain, we run jobs in the back end, and it automatically should set up all custom domains for you. We're not there yet, but that's coming up.
Yeah, and where it is now is a step forward to where it was. Because where it was before, we had to email them. Now there's a lovely button in our Zenler accounts where we can just hit that button and off it goes. So, it's progress, and that's brilliant.
Yeah.
Cool. Okay, so Ryan, I hope that answers your question. If you need any further support with that, then do let us know, and we'll try and dig out that the tutorial on that for you. Okay, next question from Charlene. I would like to be able to offer a 15-minute consult with potential students and clients. I currently have this set up through Calendly, I believe that is, and a different Zoom account. But can this be done in Zenler in some way?
Currently we do not have calendar or scheduling in place. Currently you can embed a Calendly or I think it's called Acuity, whatever that. Yeah, so we can embed it onto a page using custom HTML element or custom HTML lesson. But one of the next things we are going to work on, and we're going to add on to the new Zenler Live live feature is the scheduling, calendar, and syncing, and all of that stuff. So yeah, once you have that, you should technically be able to cancel your Calendly, your book a time with me, whatever, all of that.
That's brilliant. That's brilliant.
Have you any thoughts on that, David? Do you think there's a workaround at all?
Well, I mean, I just do one-off Zoom meetings, and I just send them the link, and then I just connect up with them and I just chat to them. That's what I do. I don't use it on a calendar basis, really. I just it's when I need it. So having that calendar functionality that you're talking about, Rakesh, will be brilliant. It opens things up in another direction. You know, it's like with Zenler. There's so many things you can do. I only use a fraction of it with what I use. But obviously other users are using other areas in this area, so it's all it's all very interesting.
Cool. Okay. Well, I hope that goes some way to answering that question, but we're on it, and hopefully in the future it will be a direct thing that you can do in Zenler. Okay. So Chris Heath, this is your question. So thank you for submitting your question. Can you please give us a demo of the closed caption functionality? It would be great to see an example of what you use to create the closed captions and the steps involved working through New Zenler right through to the finished product as a student would see it. Also, any recommendations on where to go to have captions generated from a video? What you use to edit the typos, etc.
Right, I've got this one. I was talking to Chris earlier. So, hi, Chris. Okay, so Zenler, you can import caption formats, .vrt and .vtt, sorry.
.srt as well.
Yeah, an SRT. Right, there's two ways of doing it. One, you can go, you can Google online for caption creators. And one that I've used in the past is one called rev.com. They're pretty good. Also, I tend to open the SRT file because it's easier to edit. But you can see, you can edit it in Notepad and you can make your changes. You can go into the video in Zenler, go to the captions, upload it, and it's done. So it's a really, really simple thing to do. But I would say rev.com's good. Also, what I've used before is YouTube. If you upload your video to YouTube, YouTube will auto-generate the captions, and it will also let you download them in .vtt and .srt, as well as another format that I don't use. So I think that one is a really good question to do and ask Zenler. So that's what I'm going to do. So that's going to be coming up soon. So I'm going to do one.
Hashtag ask Zenler.
Hashtag ask them.
This is actually probably a more important topic than Chris probably realizes, because next year there's a whole accessibility thing going on. There's a review on the accessibility for courses where captions on videos for training is going to have to be a must. Okay, they're saying if you teach online and you do videos, you can't just have audio. You've got to have the words on the screen as well. So right now we don't have to, but in the very near future, it's going to be a requirement, and we need to start preparing for that. So that question is quite prominent. Now, I will add to what David said, and there are a couple of other services out there that you can use that I do use, that are really, really good. One of them is called Happy Scribe, where you get a subscription for that, and you get X amount of minutes per month, blah, blah, blah. And that's actually, out of everything I've ever used, really quite accurate. We did a 10,000 words transcription yesterday, and we had to change about 30 words.
Wow.
That's pretty accurate.
Pretty amazing. So that's one of them. It's called Happy Scribe. And the other one is Vidnami, which was Content Samurai before. Some of you are probably familiar with that. They do it as well. So there are options out there that shouldn't be a restriction, because you don't know which one to use. Just go and test some of them and have a play around and see what works best for you. But yeah, really, really good question, that one. Thank you.
And just watch out that you're able to download. You should be able to download those formats. They're pretty common. You've got VTT and you've got SRT.
Are these formats quite different, or the STT and?
No, not really. It's just I prefer one to the other, because some of them have got like they've just got some code embedded in between the line breaks and things. It's very hard to sort of see it as you're trying to edit it. That's all. But I mean, you know, it depends. I guess on a Mac, if you opened it up in their equivalent of what's their equivalent on a Mac. I haven't used the Mac for years. It's not WordPad, it's something, but they might show it differently.
Yeah.
So it's easy to edit. It's just finding a good provider that's going to give you quite accurate results. YouTube's not bad, but it does kind of mess things up. I've had some very funny translations. So yeah,
but it's free.
Good question.
Yeah. It's free, and Facebook does it as well. Believe it or not. So if you do live stuff on Facebook and whatever, you can use their service for free also. But again, it's not quite so accurate. So just hi to a couple of people that are in the chat at the moment. So David Birch, thank you very much. TechSmith has a good one called Audiate. So thank you for contributing that. I didn't know that, and I use TechSmith. So we'll have a look at that. Chris is on at the moment, so he's saying this is really good. Thank you, guys. Chris de la Barrera. Headliner is a good option. Not heard of that one either. So that's one to look out for. David Birch again, where is the caption requirement coming from? So that's a good question, David. And I'm going to go back to the source of that, and I'll put that into the group as an update so I can show you where and who that is. But I believe it's an accessibility thing that's going to be a requirement for lots of different places. So exactly how that works I haven't got that information to hand, but I'll get that for you for sure because it's a big deal.
I mean, there's lots of things to be done for accessibility point of view. It's an ocean. There's a lot of things to be done.
True. Okay, so on to our last question. Of course, if you're watching this live and you've got questions, please do put them in. We've got Rakesh and David here with us. So I'll go into the last submitted question that we've got, which is from Linda Sherwin. Using the opt-in page for an ebook, can I put the cover of my ebook on the opt-in page where the template book is?
I think you're referring to the marketing funnels, the ebook template one. I think the one that is available right now, I don't think you can change it. It depends on what template you're referring to. Can you drop a screenshot to that page onto the chat?
Right, Linda might not be on live with us. This was a question she put in yesterday.
Fine.
So I'll have a look at that. I'll have a look at that tomorrow and see if I can get it, because in that page, I think you can still design the page up, can't you, Rakesh, inside the funnel page?
Yeah, you can add your own image. You need not use that the ebook design that you have. That is just to get you head start. It doesn't mean you have to use that. You can just upload your own image.
Yeah, exactly. So what I was probably she likes that image and thinks, oh, I want my book in there. So what I'll do is I was just going to download the image and then just use another book and put it in place over the top, upload it, and there you go, it's done. But it's easier for me to say it. I'll show it.
But I think that's a good requirement. Probably we should support image as well onto the cover of the ebook. I think this has been reported, has been asked earlier as well. So it's a good question.
Okay, cool. Question in on the chat live. So Magda, thank you very much for your question. Is there a way to copy a lesson into another module? That's the question.
So currently there is no way to copy lessons from one course to another course. There's no way to copy courses from one site to another site. All of these guys are on the list.
Right, so it's coming. We just need to be a little bit more patient on that one.
So are they talking about a lecture within a section? Then are they talking about doing a clone of that and moving it across to another course?
Yeah, that's pretty much what they're talking about.
Yeah, I think you can clone it easily within a course, but I think that Magda is referring from one course to another course, I guess.
I think that's right. So that pretty much wraps up our questions for right now, unless anybody's got any last minute ones they wish to hop in. So just a couple of reminders for people before we head off, unless we get any more questions. If you're watching the replay, hashtag replay, and come in and say hi, let us know where you're from, and any comments you have. We do always come back and reply to the questions and comments on these office hours live. The second thing is David is heading up on the tutorials at the moment. David, do you want to just have a few words about what you're doing over on YouTube and how the course is going?
Yeah, with YouTube, what I'm doing is I'm doing hashtag Ask Zenler, hashtag Zenler How To's, and basically I'm looking, Rakesh, Kevin are looking for any questions that come up that we can turn into little quick videos to show you really quickly. So they'll all be under that hashtag Ask Zenler. If you put that in there, they're going to flick up. But you're going to, on the YouTube channel, what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to do one of these a day. So sometimes it might be like every other day, and I might put 2 up like I did the other day. But I'm going to try and fill that. It's a playlist on the actual Zenler YouTube channel, and in there is hashtag Ask Zenler. That's where it's going. Plus all of the courses from the other are all being uploaded as well. And eventually when my massive course comes out, that will be uploaded there as well. But not only that, I'm going to supply a PDF document that's going to have an index of everything that's in a course. So not just the lectures, it's going to have a lecture. And if that lecture is 20 minutes long, there's going to be a breakdown of exactly what's in it with timestamps. So you click and go straight to that lecture, go to that time, and you'll see that part. So I'm breaking it all down. It's quite a big task, but it's really fun. So I'm just trying to do all the basic stuff, and then I can go on to the more advanced, and it will come out. So maybe we'll do a pre-launch. I don't know. It's up to Rakesh on that. He'll have to look at it.
Yeah, I think David has given me a sneak preview onto that PDF. I think that is going to be really handy. So with one click, you can jump straight into that particular topic and so on.
Yeah, instant. I'd like to do a manual as well that shows it in a manual, so you can, so almost like a book. But obviously that's going to take too long. So I need to do this index, and then later on, maybe we can turn it into something that's I don't know, printable. Rakesh.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So we've got the YouTube channel for New Zenler. If you've not yet subscribed, I asked David to put the link to that underneath on this particular office hours. So you can go over, subscribe, and then you'll be notified when new videos get put on there, new mini tutorials get on there as well. So that's really awesome. Tutorials.newzenler.com is where you can see some of the existing stuff that we've got that will still be useful for you. That's where the new course is going to go in. That's free. New Zenler give that to you as part of you being involved with them. So go and have a look. Keep your eye on that. Just go and subscribe anyway to that, because it's worthwhile being in there. Also, that's where we're going to start doing the live walkthroughs within the live class in there. So you need to be in there if you want to get access to that. Of course, we do office hours every Thursday. So next week we're doing 1 p.m. UK time. So every week we're on a rolling time scale at the moment to try and cover most of the time zones, because I'm fully aware from where everybody told me where they were last week, we've got a big audience around the world. So we're doing 1 p.m, we're doing 5 p.m, then we're doing 9 p.m. And hopefully during the course of those 3, we'll catch most people at a reasonable hour and not 3 o'clock in the morning, because I'm not doing one at 3 o'clock in the morning. And of course, we've got interviews coming out next week. So if you're a pro user and you're using New Zenler, I want to interview you. So firstly, we can see what you're up to, but also get some ideas flowing through the group as to what's possible, what you're actually doing, what the feedback is from your clients, how it's working for you, and really to get some inspiration behind just how powerful and useful New Zenler is in the real world. Because that's ultimately what it's here for. It's to help you teach your people and to earn you more money in your business. So if you want to get involved in that, go to announcements. There's a couple of things there you can fill out, and I'll be in touch and we'll get that done. So any last words from you guys?
No. I would say post your questions, because the more questions we've got, the more we can fire through them. So if you're putting lots more questions under here, then we'll try and put those on next time so we can look at them. And if we've got them in advance, we can get a thorough answer for you. with demonstrations and things, it would be quite good.
Yeah, I think again, please go through the tutorials, before asking the questions. It will help us. It will help reduce the load on support, so we can focus on more features.
Absolutely. And just before I shut us down, I just want to say to Chris, we said happy scribe. The other one is Vidnami. So go on and have a look over on there. It used to be Content Samurai. They changed the name of it. It was either earlier this year or last year. And they do the subscription stuff as well. And there was one more comment that I just wanted to pick up on, if I can find it. It was about the cloning.
Is that from Magda?
Yeah, I can't see it at the moment. It just flashed up and there it's gone.
I guess we answered that, I guess.
Yeah, I think we answered it. I think she said it was in the same lesson, the cloning that she wanted to do.
Same lesson, I think we can clone, right, David? I think so.
The same lesson?
Within the same lesson, I think. Okay. We need to check that.
Yeah, I think at some point that's going to come out in a mini tutorial anyway. If we can and can't, what we can and can't clone right now. Maybe that will be a walkthrough that I do at some point in the next few days, just to show people what we can do. Okay, fantastic. I think that's a wrap for this week. Thank you all for your questions, for your advanced questions. David, Rakesh, thank you as always for being here with me. It's been absolutely awesome. And everybody will catch you in the group and have an absolutely fantastic week. Cool. And in the UK, of course, bank holiday weekend. So have fun and we'll see you soon.
Does that mean anything? That doesn't mean anything.
It rains anyway, so it doesn't matter.
It means more surfing, David.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I got a new ball. I got a new ball behind me. I'm looking forward to. There's no waves though. There's no waves. That's the UK.
Yeah, indeed. Thanks everyone.
Thanks everyone. Bye bye.
See you all soon.
Bye bye.